right. Welcome to the Grand Canyon Slam podcast, where we cover anything and everything professional wrestling across the great Copper State of Arizona. If I look a little bit different than I do in the rest of this video, it's because rookie mistake. I recorded this intro with my mic unplugged. So coming back to it, fixing that. But again, rookie mistake. Hopefully first and last time that happens. Today, we're covering Phoenix Championship Wrestling, PCW, live on Broadway from March 15th at the Eagles Community Center in Mesa, Arizona. An absolutely packed house, as always, for PCW. There was literally standing room only. We got a stacked but balanced card with 9 matches, including 4 title matches. Some quicker, some longer, some shorter. A lot of variety. Everything from the high-flying, flippy acrobatics to hard-hitting meatheads beating the living crap out of each other. Whatever kind of wrestling fan you are, whatever kind of wrestling you enjoy, they had it on this card. It was a great time. It was a great night. Everyone was enjoying every second of it, top to bottom. And again, this is my second time recording this intro, so I am not going to drag this out. Let's just get right into it. All right, PCW live on Broadway from March 15th, 2025. All right, getting into this first match, we had Remy Marcel, who is a no-nonsense, old-fashioned New York-style brawler in overalls and a pretty cool hat. And Anthony Katena is a national indie wrestler that's been featured all over the country on Ring of Honor, OVW, what up, and more all over the country again. So this match got started really quick. They went after each other right out of the gates, trying to start off hot. Katena was able to take over, being just a little bit quicker, though it doesn't take Remy long to turn that around. At one point during the match, Katena started messing with Remy's hat, and of course Remy didn't take very kindly to that. That was the turning point in this one, when Katena started finally getting his ass whooped. It didn't take long after that for Remy to finally put him away. In fact, after the match, Remy continued beating down Anthony Katena to the point that it took multiple refs to wake him up and help him to the back. Remy Marcel did ultimately walk away with, I couldn't quite tell if that was a brainbuster or a suplex, but whatever it is, it sounded like it hurt. Remy Marcel walks away with a pinfall victory over Anthony Katena in what was a very fun, pretty quick match that was clearly designed to get Remy Marcel over as a bruising powerhouse, and I think it absolutely did that. It was a really entertaining match, especially with the hat spot. That was a great way of making this match stick out on a card full of singles matches with little to no build. I love Remy's New York brawler look, and I definitely hope we get to see more of Katena. He was very entertaining and very athletic. Our second match of the night was between Antoine Giovanni and Graves. Giovanni, I believe I read online, is from New Mexico, and Graves is PCW's local beast. Seriously, this guy is enormous. I don't know what he eats, but he eats a lot of it. And Giovanni just does a great job of playing a heel from what I can tell. Before the bell rings, Gio cuts a promo saying that he's too busy to wrestle tonight. So he tries walking away, and Graves has to drag him back to the ring. This leads to Graves taking over at first, throwing him around all over the place. You really see quickly why they had him cut that pre-match promo to show that he is a heel, or else the entire crowd would have been pretty sympathetic to this guy. Graves absolutely tears him apart until Gio finally distracts the ref and out of the ref's line of sight manages to kick Graves in the groin. Gio's able to hit a couple fantastic moves, including a very crisp rolling DDT and a swanton bomb, but only earns a 2 count and ends up pissing off Graves. Graves hits something that looked suspiciously like the Samoan spike, a term that I believe is copyrighted, followed by a huge chokeslam that put Gio to sleep for the win for Graves. Another really fun match that was clearly designed to get over the face as a dominating force and to get over the heel as a cheating piece of shit. And again, I think this match did exactly what it was designed to do, though a bit more of a condensed version of the last one. I wouldn't call this a squash necessarily, but it was definitely a pretty short match that made Graves look like a beast. And I wonder if, I hope that we will get a Remy and Graves match. Maybe that's something we've already had in the past at PCW. I'm not, again, super familiar with PCW's past shows, but hey, let me know in the comments down below. Man, that's kind of fun to say that. That's new. That's fun. Moving into our third match, we have GFY tag team made up of Stanley Logan and Freddie Cordoba taking on Young Money, tag team made up of Jaden Money Monroe and No Limit RJ Wild. I really like Young Money. They are a lot of fun. They have a fantastic energy, a great look. They're super athletic, both of them, and in different ways, which is what you really want to see in a tag team, is two guys that are different in complementary ways, and I think that's exactly what these guys do, with Monroe being a very stout amateur wrestling type and Wild being a bit more wiry and therefore able to move a lot quicker and get a lot more height on his jumps and his leaps. Both guys have some high flying ability, but Wild obviously gets a little more height, whereas Monroe's dives have a little bit more of weight and power to them. But two guys that work together very, very well. I definitely remember them from past shows, and obviously I don't remember many guys, so that's saying a lot. Huge fan of Young Money. This one starts out as most tag matches do. Each guy gets to take over the other team for a couple of minutes. First, we had Jaden Monroe showing off his unique combination of power, technique, and leaping ability. I love this kid, as I've already said. I won't go off again. After he gets in some offense, he tags in Wild to show off his speed and precision with some fast strikes and some diving moves, until GFY's manager gets involved, distracting the referee, letting GFY double team Wild at ringside. Wild earns his paycheck here. Wild takes a gigantic beating at ringside, getting absolutely annihilated with double teams, slams, throws, strikes, all while the manager keeps distracting the ref and holding Jaden Monroe at bay. In fact, these guys did such a fantastic job that when he finally did tag in Monroe, I have got to say, I don't think I've ever heard this loud a pop for a hot tag at an indie show. Possibly ever. Forget an indie show. I've been to several WWE and AEW shows, and I don't think I've heard it at any of those either. That was impressive. It was not only a fun match, but that pop was stunning. Finally, Wild is able to tag in Monroe. Monroe hits a few clotheslines, tags RJ back in. RJ lands a huge swanton bomb. The air that this kid got was wild, and that was enough to put them away for the pin. Following the match, Cordoba and Logan got into a little bit of a scuffle following their loss, and they had to be pulled apart. Something of note that will probably pop up at the next show, I have no doubt. There's not much else to say that I haven't already said here. Young Money are a bunch of fun and the future of the local industry, assuming that they don't get snapped up by the majors. GFY played their parts super well too. Faces aren't faces without great heels, and these guys are fantastic heels. That hot tag would not have been what it was if these guys did not work over RJ and work the hell out of the crowd for a good, I don't want to put a time on it, I'm a terrible judge of time, for several minutes. Honestly, by the time this one was over, all I was thinking to myself was, damn, Phoenix has some top tier talent. The fourth match on the card was a true squash match between the luchador monster Lord Draco, who absolutely annihilated, I do believe they called him Angel, not Angel, Angel Sagrado, I believe. I don't want to mispronounce things, but I do believe that's how the announcer pronounced it. Angel's fast, very fast, as luchadors typically are, but Draco is powerful. He's an absolute monster, and he smashed that poor kid to bits. There's not much to say here. It was a squash. The largest point that I have to make about this one is that the crowd absolutely loves Draco. They are obsessed with this dude. And also, I should say, this is exactly when and why you use a squash match on your card. These short matches, you would think at this point would start feeling repetitive, but they're all still slightly different in length, and they're all so vastly different that it has flown by at this point in the show. The fifth match on the card was the first one to really turn up the pace. It was the first highly competitive match on the card, and it was for the Slam U Championship. For those unfamiliar, Slam U is to PCW what NXT is to WWE. It is their developmental system. It's their minor leagues, their college. And this was for the Slam U Championship. This was PCW's national title game. This was their Final Four. This was their Little League World Series. I don't know fucking baseball. It's a terrible sport. This was their college national championship. The Slam U title was defended by Joey Hendricks against Enrique Calderon. This must have had some kind of build that I was not privy to it. Again, catch me up in the comments, or hell, just DM me. Let me know what I've missed in the past, please. Because Calderon jumps Hendricks during his entrance, cutting off his music and his famous dance. There was a pretty cool moment early on where Calderon was beating up on Hendricks and goes for a suicide dive to the outside, but Hendricks pulls a camera guy in the way, using him to turn the tide. These guys are angry. They are clearly out to hurt each other. Again, there's clearly been some kind of build to this match. There was emotion behind these moves. This was the first match of the night that saw several back and forth turns. As Hendricks took over, he started getting a little bit cocky and again clearly had a beef with Calderon going into it because he started trying to humiliate Calderon, slapping him around, but this just succeeds in pissing him off. This allows Calderon to kind of get his shit together and take over with a little Hulk-style power-up and a beautiful sequence ending in a big code breaker. Calderon is tired, but slowly climbing to the top rope, but Hendricks pushes the ref into him, knocking him down. Hendricks climbs to the top rope himself, hits a beautiful corkscrew flip off the top, but only for 2. Again, this match was wild, as you can tell from the copious amounts of notes that I've taken. Hendricks at this point is pissed off, loses his mind, rips off the turnbuckle cover, goes to use the title as a weapon, but really the title was just a distraction. And as the ref takes the title away and is putting it back behind his back, Hendricks picks up Calderon, slams his face into the exposed turnbuckle, and goes for the pin. But it's taken the referee way too long to get this title back. Calderon's able to kick out and smash Hendricks' face into the exposed turnbuckle. He hits a huge super kick, gets finally to the top rope, a gigantic, beautiful frog splash. 1, 2, 3. New Slam U champion Enrique Calderon. Though not without controversy. Because wrestling. This was exciting as hell, as you can tell again from the notes that I took. There was a lot here. A lot of back and forth, a lot of escalation and reversals at the right time, keeping the crowd engaged, keeping everyone at the edge of their seat. This was a fantastic match between two young wrestlers that, frankly, I hope we look back at this match one day the way that we look back at Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in NXT 10 years ago. Just two local legends ripping each other to hell in the first of many, many classics to come. Our 6th match of the night was between local favorite and defending Ultra Women's Champion Zamaya against former NXT prospect Danielle Camella, now going by Coach DK. Apparently she's playing up her experience and I would assume must be coaching at the Performance Center. But first note, this crowd is ridiculously behind Zamaya. The kids are absolutely obsessed with her, and it makes sense too. She has a fantastic look. She's fun as hell. So this one starts out with Zamaya taking over pretty quickly, using her power advantage. Pretty straightforward beginning of the match, but pretty quickly DK is able to use, God, I can't call her that with a straight freaking face, man. Camella is able to reverse a couple of throws and get some licks in herself. They take it to the outside and start brawling, but some fan starts heckling Zamaya, and for the longest time it felt super awkward and very obnoxious. And finally they get back in the ring, Zamaya hits the ropes, and as she's coming back, this fan throws her beer on Zamaya. It goes splashing all over the ring, all over the two people sitting on both sides of her. Everybody gets wet. And so they had to send security up to talk to her. I was surprised they didn't kick her out. Finally, the match gets going, but it felt to me like the match just kept flowing, like there wasn't a real hiccup, like there wasn't a real issue, but the match just kind of kept flowing. So that kind of raised some flags for me. That made me a bit suspicious. Sure enough, it did ultimately end up being a work. This girl with the hoodie ran back out, distracted Zamaya, and allowed Camella to pick up the win with a roll-up. Looks like Coach DK has a little Diddy Kong student. This match was unique thanks alone to Zamaya's unique presence and, of course, to the run-in finish, which no other match on this card had. Everybody absolutely was convinced, myself included, that Zamaya would walk away with the title. And I'm not going to lie, they had me questioning whether or not that run-in was going to happen. They had me questioning whether or not that girl with the hoodie was a performer or part of the show or not. And when they make you wonder, they're doing a good job, right? This was a lot of fun, great match. And it sucks that we had the heel walk away, but we'll just, as always, have to see how that one pans out. Let the story play out. I am definitely excited to see how this plays out at the next show. Not only how Zamaya overcomes the new student, but also how Camilla evolves now that she has almost lost once to Zamaya. I'm not sure how in depth the in-ring storytelling goes with PCW, but theoretically, I would think that if Camilla is a veteran and she almost got pinned by Zamaya, now she's got some experience under her belt. She's faced her. I'm not sure if this was their first match, but I'm assuming it was. Then now she's faced her once. She knows Zamaya's game. Maybe next time she comes back and gets a clean victory. I don't know, but either way, this is going to be a lot of fun to watch play out. And these two are incredibly talented. The crowd is absolutely in love with Zamaya, and Camilla plays a wonderful heel. And it's always fun whenever you get more talent involved, whenever a rivalry isn't just 1-to-1. So I can't wait to see how the student story plays out. At this point, we're 2/3 of the way through the show. That hot tag is still the absolute highlight. It's going to be really hard to beat that. But at this point, there has still not been a single dud, not a slow match, not a boring point. As we move into match number 7 between the Pretty City Express, a tag team made up of Class and Devin Reno, against the Mega Test Warriors, made up of Michael Benjamin Wexler, MBW, and Tommy Two Scoops. The crowd loves Tommy Two Scoops. As their name would suggest, the Pretty City Express thinks they're gorgeous, and the Mega Test Warriors came out chugging pre-workout, so that probably tells you all you need to know. This wasn't super fancy in terms of flashy moves. This was mostly about engaging the crowd and playing up their characters, really about waking up the crowd and getting them live and energetic for the last couple matches on the card. And again, I think this match absolutely did what it was designed to do. The Mega Test Warriors are hilarious. They are phenomenal. They work with the crowd so well. The crowd loves the Two Scoops chant. And Class and Reno are fantastic heels, but Class and Reno really do know how to sell those big power moves. Ultimately, the Express do pull out the win with some kind of double pin nonsense. I didn't know that was legal, but the finish confused me. I didn't expect it to end because I thought the referee was going to tell them that was illegal and that was going to delay things and that was going to give the other guy time to break up the pin, but that didn't happen. He just counted it and the match ended and the bell rang, and I was confused. Other than that, it was a very fun match. Again, nothing but good things to say about the match and about all 4 guys in it. I was a bit confused, but as previously mentioned, I am kind of new to PCW, so I'm sure I will get used to their style as I go to future shows. But again, this was fantastic. This was a ton of fun. All 4 guys, I cannot wait to see again, especially the Mega Test Warriors. I hope that they have a rematch in their near future to get these titles back. Our penultimate match, our co-main event between WWE veteran and former Spirit Squad member Mike Mondo, who played the heel here, against another local powerhouse. This card was just packed with them, this time in Jimmy House. Mondo starting off with some cheap shots, again emphasizing that he's the heel, but when that didn't work, he just tried to walk away. I think it was the 3rd time that we've seen this spot tonight, so that started to wear a bit thin. But House chased him down, brought him back to the ring, and took over for a bit until Mondo's able to turn a whip into a really brutal-looking knee to the back of House's head. I thought this was noteworthy because it did not look pretty and did not look safe. Obviously, again, Mondo is a veteran. The man knows what he's doing. If anyone's going to do it, it should be him. But my God, that looked bad. So I guess I'm a mark because he was fine. From this point on, Mondo continued playing up the big heel shtick. He even choked House out using some of his wrist tape, and again showed his veteran experience by very comedically hiding it from the ref for a little while. He got an extra 5-10 seconds of choke out of spinning around and keeping the ref to his back. The match might have run a little bit late, or maybe they had some lighting issues, but I'm pretty sure I read in Jericho's book or something like that the flashing lights was an indicator that they had run too late. And this match did sort of drag towards the end. There were moments where it felt a bit slow and it took a little bit longer to pick up. Ultimately, House gets put into a chokehold but absolutely refuses to tap out, finally whips Mondo off of his back, and both men go down with double clotheslines. House works his way to his feet first and finally walks away with the pin and the victory after a gigantic, brutal spear and suplex combo. That one hurt to watch. These guys were out to prove something. Mondo wanted House to earn this match and prove that they belong in the ring together, and I think he absolutely did that. These guys did not have a good night or a pleasant tomorrow. They were in pain. Fantastic match, and I hope that we get to see Mondo back here again at some point in the future, and cannot wait to see Jimmy House tear it down with the rest of these powerhouses on the PCW roster in the future. There are just so many huge guys on this roster. It really makes PCW stand out. That's not something that you see as commonly on all the other cards around the Phoenix area. And finally, our main event was for the PCW Heavyweight Championship, defended by John Wolfgang against challenger Kevin Koa. Koa is an absolute beast. He's listed on the PCW website as 6'1", and I call absolute bullshit. There's no way he's that short. That man is enormous. I know I'm only 5'6", so like 6 foot, 6'6", it's all just big to me, but I was sitting up high. There's no way. That dude is huge. And Wolfgang is, I believe, their long-running world champion. I'm not sure how long his reign has been, but I'm pretty sure I've seen him with the title for quite some time. This main event did start kind of slow with Wolfgang getting in a couple shots, but mostly selling for Koa. This was mostly about Wolfgang basically taking a gigantic beating by the beast Koa, but refusing to stay down, refusing to give up, and just continuing to get up. Ultimately, Koa sets Wolfgang up into position for a crucifix powerbomb, but Wolfgang catches his feet on the top rope, flips out of the hold, rolls Koa up for 3 to win the match out of absolutely nowhere and to retain the PCW Heavyweight Championship. The man was slammed, he was thrown, he was absolutely beaten to a pulp, but he kept kicking out at 2. He was choked out but would not quit. He would not let himself fall asleep. Slammed against the ring apron, thrown into the ring barricades over and over, choked out to the point that any mortal man would have passed out, if not died. And still John Wolfgang gets up again and again, and finally, somehow, rolls up his beast of an opponent, Kevin Koa, for 3 to retain the PCW Heavyweight Championship. I'm currently accepting job offers for commentary position. This main event was a ton of fun, though for some reason a lot of people cleared out before it started. I don't know what was with that, but the energy was way lower than the performers deserved. These guys worked their asses off here. Koa beat the living shit out of John Wolfgang. I know that I've said that several times tonight, and I'm not very creative with the terminology sometimes, but that's because I have to be vulgar to express the extent to which people were beaten to a bloody pulp. This was a fantastic match between two fantastic performers, and if you missed it, that really sucks. You missed a great one. Overall, this was a fantastic show, as always, from PCW. Another huge crowd. I think they said it was like 15 or 1,800, something like that. Maybe 15. 18 sounds high. But it was an absolute packed house. If you've been to the Eagles Community Center, you know how many people that place can hold, and it was standing room only by the time the first match started. My personal match of the night was definitely Calderon and Hendricks for the Slam U title. Pace on the entire card. It was the first match with mutual intensity. It wasn't very one-sided. It did take a little bit longer than the other ones, but it was hot from the very start with Calderon interrupting Hendricks' entrance. And these two just tore down the damn house, not Jimmy. They don't just look good. These two are even more athletic than their respective abs would probably indicate. My moment of the night was the hot tag by RJ Wild to Jaden Monroe of Young Money. As I mentioned before, and I won't spend a lot of time on this, I already have, but that was the loudest pop that I have ever heard for a hot tag, like live in person. Never, ever have I heard that. Forget a hot tag. That was probably the loudest pop I've ever heard at an indie show. 1,500 people. It's hard to beat that. Made even more exciting by the long-term potential of both of these guys. My favorite wrestler character of the night was a 3-way tie between Tommy Two Scoops, his partner, Michael Benjamin Wexler, MBW, and Zamaya. All three of these characters are very distinct. I think it would be a lie to say that they're incredibly unique. Again, I feel Zamaya is definitely a spin on the Road Warriors, and we've definitely seen a tag team of workout buddies who live on pre-workout before. But these guys really give the feeling that this is their natural selves. This is who they are. They feel so natural. All in all, again, really fun show, very balanced. Every match stood out in its own way, had its own theme, had its own story, had its own unique spin. We saw 3 titles change hands, and I cannot wait for the next show, which is on May 10th. We will be right back where we were at the Eagles Community Center in Mesa. No matches announced this early. We are about 2 months out, but hopefully I'll be able to pull off a preview pod. I know PCW does like to get their matches out so that people know what to expect, but that was PCW live on Broadway from March 15th. Let me know what you thought. Were you there? Did you make it? Did you not? If you do not live in Mesa, did you go all the way out there for this show? I really want to know who was your favorite wrestler? What was your favorite match? Who stood out to you, and who can you not wait to see again in the future? Let me know in the comments. DM me, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Follow on Twitter, don't call it X, Facebook, Instagram. Keep up with the podcast and check out new episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Again, let me know everything that you think. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you're going to go out to. Let me know what you got going on. If you've got an event, if you've got anything going on related to the wrestling space, related to wrestlers, let me know. And I will add it to the Grand Canyon Slam calendar at grandcanyonslam.com. One single calendar with all professional wrestling across the entire Copper State. Do not forget, grandcanyonslam.com. The next episode that we've got coming out, that will cover AWF The Reckoning from this past Saturday night, March 22nd, live from Tap Room 120 in Mesa or Gilbert, depending on who you ask. And this coming Saturday, we have Throwback Era Wrestling in Tucson. I unfortunately am busy. I have a personal prior commitment, so I cannot be making this road trip. Unfortunately, it breaks my heart. I still have not yet taken the Grand Canyon Slam down to the Tucson, Sierra Vista area, but that is on not just the to-do list. It is in the near future. It's coming. It's happening. We are a statewide calendar website podcast. We talk statewide. We're going up north. We're going down south. We're going to Yuma. If Havasu ever gets a show, we're going to the lake. I am not here to play. We are here to push everything from corner to corner, from corner to 4 corners. Sorry. Okay. And the weekend after that, get your tickets now for the Game On Expo. All weekend long, the first weekend of April at the Phoenix Convention Center. Yes, the Phoenix Convention Center. The Game On Expo will be going on all weekend. Check out toys, comic books, all your nerdy stuff. There will, of course, also be wrestling put on by WrestleDrag, IZW, Party Hard. I think a couple other companies are in on this as well. It's a huge collaboration. Some of the Lucha guys will be out there. So get your tickets. If you're down south, TEW. If you are in the Valley, WrestleDrag Company at the Game On Expo. Also, everybody, please check out, we have Mick Foley coming to town, first to Flagstaff in April, and then in May, he's going to be local doing his 40 Years of Foley one-man show. That's going to be an absolute blast. More info on that to come. But stay tuned. More episodes, more shows always getting scheduled. Always, please let me know what we're missing on the calendar. We want every show, every single show across the state. Please let us know what we're missing. Like, share, subscribe, comment, follow, etc. I love you all. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much.